Good day again. This is Seven Lamps Ministries, and today we're going to talk briefly about health. And so let's start with a little history. Um, in the Garden of Eden, God created Adam and Eve, and He gave them a diet of just fruit. After sin came into the world through their mistake, God introduced vegetables and herbs of the field, nuts and grains. And so God introduced that type of diet for Adam and Eve because it was the best diet for them, for their body to keep on rejuvenating and stay healthier longer, and for them to have a better quality life. Now let's go to another part of human history. There was a man called Noah, and he lived in a time where the earth was filled with men that were exceedingly evil. So basically what Noah did, he took clean animals, two of each clean animal, and he took some unclean animals onto the ark. And so because the waters rose from on the earth and destroyed the planet, in the sense that it killed everything on the planet in terms of the human beings that were on there and the animals, the toxic elements of the dead animals and the dead human beings would seep into the ground, and it made the vegetation of that time very toxic and very not edible, not for the human beings that were living at that time, which would be Noah's family. So God allowed them to partake of the flesh diet. And if you look at the Bible and you study it, in that section of man history, men were living 900 years, and then after God allowed them to eat flesh foods, their lifespan actually shrank to 300, all up down to under 100, to where it says it's appointed to man to live 70 days, which is 70 years. So now God is calling us to go back to a cleaner diet, because the flesh foods and the dairy products of today are tainted and are toxic. Tainted because of the animal was mistreated. The animal that you were getting these products from are mistreated, and because of the chemicals they release before they die, it is unfit for human consumption. So I am here to encourage those that are wanting to go from plant-based diet, actually go from a flesh diet and dairy products to a plant-based diet. It is the best, most efficient food that you can put in your body, because your body rejuvenates, it gets the best quality nutrients, and you live longer, you look better, and you can keep weight off of your body. Now, we notice that people that are eating all these flesh foods and all these dairy products are still overweight. They're gaining weight and they're getting sick. They're having diabetes. They're having heart problems. They're having arthritis. And it's partly because of the food that they're ingesting. But if you see people that are eating plant-based diets, they're looking longer. They're looking younger longer. They're more active. They're working out. They're keeping themselves fit. They're enjoying a better quality life. And it behooves us to go back to Eden to eat the right kind of food that God placed on this earth. If you read the book of Leviticus, you'll find out that there are actually guidelines on what meats that we can eat and what meats that we shouldn't eat, or flesh foods. But of course we know today that the flesh foods and the dairy products are tainted and highly toxic and unfit for human consumption. Let's take, for instance, the blood. A lot of our meats in the market, like the chicken and the beef, have still blood in them. In fact, when you're cooking it or baking it or whatever you do to prepare it, you could still see blood coming out of it while you're cooking it. And the taste of the meat, that savory taste that you get in your mouth when you chew on it, is the uric acid and the blood. In Leviticus, it says that man should not eat the blood of the animal, for the blood of the animal is the life of the animal. So it behooves us not to eat the blood of the animal. Now, the reason why God said that is not because He doesn't want us to enjoy eating food, but because the blood causes sickness. So whatever disease or whatever virus the animal had at the time, it gets transferred to you because you're partaking of the blood. And of course, the uric acid is the acidic part of the animal, causes all sorts of problems with the joints, like arthritis and so many other ailments of the body. There are lots of people who have diabetes, have cancers, have asthma, rheumatoid arthritis, and it is just because of what they're eating. It's not because of it, it's not because it's being passed down from generation to generation. In the sense, if you really think about it, yes, it could be passed down from generation because each generation keeps eating the same kind of food, which causes harm to the body. So let me tell you something. Eating a plant-based diet is the best diet for the body because while you're eating a plant-based diet, the plant that you're eating is alive. When you're eating nuts, grains, fruits, and vegetables, they're still alive while you're eating them. Now, it does matter where you get your plants and your vegetables and your fruits from. You have to make sure that it's organic and not genetically modified or a genetically modified organism because that changes your DNA. It's best to actually grow your own plants or go to someone that grows organic fruits and vegetables, which is the best for the body. And you see, when you're eating a plant-based diet, you can keep your weight down. You can exercise and get the best benefits. A lot of people say, oh, where do you get your protein since you don't eat flesh food? Well, where do cows and all these mammals get their protein? They're eating grass, they're eating some kind of leafy greens, and that's how they get their protein. They get their protein from eating things like broccoli and the grass and the salad and so on and so forth. So instead of getting a subprotein, which is the actual animal, we can get the protein directly from these leafy greens and these broccolis and different plants that rejuvenate and give the body vitality. Another awesome thing about plant-based diet is that your exercise is more efficient. You're not tired all the time. Your joints are not hurting all the time because there's no uric acid in them because you're putting what is right in your body instead of putting that flesh food, which is actually terrible for your body. When an animal is about to be killed, it has discernment and it does know. And so before it gets killed, it releases adrenaline or it releases some kind of a hormone in the bloodstream, and then you are partaking of that same enzyme or that same element of the animal before it dies when you're eating beef. And let me tell you something. You know that saying? It says, "You are what you eat," and that is very true. You are definitely what you're going to definitely look like what you're actually eating. Now, there are people that have a lot of weight on their body and they look like what they eat. Now, I understand there are some vegetarians who are big on cheese and big on all sorts of dairy products and they're still gaining weight. Yes. You know, sometimes dairy could be even worse than meat because the milk that is received from a cow, because the cow has been given bovine growth hormone, there's both blood and there's pus in the milk. And when you drink the milk, it gets transferred to you. So you're just drinking blood with pus. You might as well sneeze and put it back in your mouth. In fact, if you sneeze and put it back in your mouth, it's probably better than drinking the milk of a cow because that is very disgusting. Pus, blood, and milk. That's why a lot of people have asthma. That's why a lot of people are getting heavier and gaining more weight, visceral fat around their stomach. That's why a lot of people are sick. And today I would like to encourage you, moving from vegetarianism or even eating flesh foods to a plant-based diet is better for your life. You live longer, you have a better quality life, you look better, you look younger. And studies have shown that people that have been on the plant-based diet live longer than anybody else on the earth. On the flip side, if you're still partaking in flesh foods, you have a tendency of getting cancer, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, Alzheimer's, you name it. Every single thing that happens to a human being on this earth is because of what they put in their mouth. It's not because it's passed down. That is a lie from the pit of hell. I also like to say another thing. If you're taking multiple medications, Tylenol, ibuprofen, pain medications, psychotropic drug, anything you're taking, you're defeating the purpose. You're eating bad and then you're taking medication. So you're eating bad and taking medication that's going to even make it worse. Or you're eating bad and taking medication that masks the pain, masks your body trying to get rid of the disease of its own. So really you're destroying a body both ways, getting medication from the doctor and eating flesh. But there's one thing you can do to rejuvenate and detox your body. It is eating a plant-based diet. It does both. Instead of eating the flesh food, you can eat the plants and the vegetables and the fruit. And guess what? That will even help your body. It will medicate your body to improve its functions. Again, also, exercise is important. We can't just eat right. We need to exercise. When we exercise, we strengthen our bones, we strengthen the tendons, we strengthen our skin, we strengthen our heart. We rejuvenate, we help rejuvenate the body, both by the plant-based diet and exercise. Thank you again. This is Seven Lambs Ministry. Me and Mark are glad that you could join us, and God bless you. You have a great day.